start the recording. It'll be up on my YouTube channel. Anybody who hasn't been before, there's a board at the back of the classroom there with the link to my YouTube channel, so you can view any of the previous videos, any of the previous sessions we've done. Oh. So yeah, this week, yeah, it's a damn shame Divine's not well. She may or may not turn up. I'm guessing she's not going to. But a couple of weeks ago, she had asked if I would help her with something that she's downloaded, a Blender file she's downloaded that she wants to upload as a world in here. And she didn't really know where to get started or how to separate the world by materials and things. So I thought we'd have a look at it. I've not really looked at it myself yet, but I've got it open already in Blender. It's a book world that she's downloaded. Quite a nice low poly world. It looks lovely. And it's got some animations. I noticed these flags are animated, and I think they're just using what do you call them? Shape keys or blend shapes, as they're called once they're brought into Unity. You can see we've got some flattened flags. And I've already had a look at it. There's only a few parts to this this file. I don't know why, but the deer over here are separated into their own thing. The flags, I'm not surprised they're separated because they're animated. We've got the waterfall, which is its own mesh. And then we've got everything else all in one scene. Absolutely everything. And there's a few ways we can approach this if you've found something and you want to upload it as a world of your own. There are a few ways you can approach it, but the first thing I would normally look at is the size. So if you just pull down this arrow here and turn on statistics, you can see for the entire thing, it's only 55,000 triangles. It's not much at all. So we've got the easy way and the hard way of uploading. Now, the easy way would be to not separate anything at all and just upload it as one big mesh. But it does mean that you'd have to add a mesh collider to it, which is going to double your geometry essentially, because it has to have the mesh that it's going to render and then the mesh that it uses as the collider, which may not be a huge issue for a world this small, but it does mean that you can't make use of things like occlusion culling, which will help to improve performance. I've gone over occlusion culling before in the past, but for anybody who doesn't know or has never used it before, occlusion culling allows your headset to only render what is in the camera view and to not render anything that's outside of the view, which hugely improves performance. And in order to do that, you need to have all your objects as separate items. You have to turn on occlusion culling, bless you, bake it.
Sorry.
I bet you thought you were muted. You have to separate everything, turn on occlusion culling for each item, decide whether it's going to be an occluder or an occludee or both, and then bake your occlusion. It takes a little while to do, but it's not that bad. And then another way of optimizing the space as well would be to reuse meshes. So straight away I can see, for instance, that if we were to choose this tree here, this pale green one, looks to me to be exactly the same as this tree here and probably this tree here. And I think probably what's happened is whoever's created this has just duplicated the tree and just dotted it all over the place. And I would do exactly the same thing. I would export it as one FBX file into Unity, and then I would create an asset out of it and just reuse that same asset over and over and over again. And that way, it's only having to load in one mesh. It just has to render it a number of times, but there's only one mesh that it's loading into memory. So that can improve things as well. And then, of course, you've got the same for all these fir trees. These look like they're all the same. They've just been, I mean, you can see here, this tree and this tree are exactly the same. They haven't even been rotated. They've possibly been resized. This one looks a bit smaller, but otherwise it's exactly the same mesh. So that's what I would go through. I would go through every single item in the world, decide what I'm going to reuse. There's only maybe 3 sheet meshes here. These 3 are the same, these 3 are the same, and then you've got one with its head down. So I would just have one sheet mesh and reuse it twice there. So once you've looked at it, you then need to look at how many materials there are. And in this one, there are only 3. And we can have a look and see exactly how that's done. If we go into the UV editing section, we can have a look at the texture for texture base. And you can see here, they've created an atlas, basically. So we've got a couple of, let's just deselect everything so you can see this a bit better. We've got what looks like probably roof tiles. They've done something to make it look maybe like wood planks, that kind of thing. I'm not sure what this is used for yet, but I'm sure we'll find out. And then here, we've got all these different colours. And if we select everything again, you can see there's dots all over the place. And this is because they've used one of my favourite methods for colouring stuff. If you're only going to be using a solid colour, it's often best just to compress all of your vertices down into a dot and place it on a pixel, on an image. And I often have what I call a colour map, which is just, I'll create a 16 by 16 pixel image. I'll put a load of different colours on that I'm going to use in the world, and then I'll just do that for each selection of vertices. I'll compress them down and say, right, I want those to be white, I want those to be blue, I want those to be green, etc. And that way I can create one material for the entire world. And I'm happy to see that they've done that here, because I don't see people doing it very often, but it's so effective and so performant. So now that we know we've only got three textures, we'll have a look at that one as well. That's much the same. And then book title. Actually, you know what? Let's just deselect everything, select whatever's used in the book title and zoom in on it. There we go, it's underneath. So they've got an image for that. So what I would probably do is just separate them out into materials. And the easiest way to do that is to go into edit mode, select everything, hit P for separate, and then just B for by material, or click on by material. And now we've got 3 scene objects, each with their own material. And you can do that for all of them. I don't know why it's got 3 channels on here, because I'm pretty sure this deer is only using one material. But we can soon find out by doing the same thing again. Come on, buy material. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Flag. We'll do the same thing. And the waterfall, I think that's probably only got one material as well, but so there we go, and we can see they are still all the same materials. So at least we've got them separated out. As I say, that easiest way would just be to upload this as one single mesh. Like I say, it is only 55,000 vertices. It's not horrific, but by the time you've doubled it with the mesh collider that you would have to apply, yeah, it's gonna apply a collider to absolutely everything. And you don't need it on everything. Really, all I would only apply the colliders to with most things is obviously the ground, possibly the rocks, these things like the buildings and the wheelbarrow. But a lot of this stuff you could get away without really needing a collider. I guess it's personal preference. And then, of course, you've got to decide, well, are we going to leave it like this and upload it as it is, or are we going to bake the lighting? If you're going to bake the lighting, you must take into consideration the size of the light maps it's going to produce and whether it's worth baking everything, because you might not see it all. If it was me, I would separate out this top part of the ground, from the book pages in the back. I would probably not use the title. I would not bake any lighting at all on this section and only bake it on the ground and the objects that you're going to be seeing and walking around. And then you've got to take into consideration, are you going to enable fly? Are you going to have the option of having 0G gravity so that you can actually fly underneath and see all of this? Because if you're not, is it really worth uploading the book pages and the cover? I don't know. It's all about being as minimalist as you possibly can be. I'm just going to have a quick look at this bridge, because that's got me a bit interested. Is that just... yeah, that's pretty simple. Okay. Oh, he's cute, that little fella. I've never noticed him before. That's quite nice. So yeah, there's lots of things to take into consideration before you start breaking a model apart and uploading it. And like I say, the first thing I would be to do is separate out this book part. And I would do that by, we're in edit mode, I'll double tap A to deselect everything. We'll try hitting L to see if it just selects that linked bit, and that looks pretty good actually. It has just selected that. We could probably do this bit as... oh, maybe not. This bit as well. Yeah, possibly. And we've got the field kind of thing included. I would have a look at that and see. We'll hide that and see what happens. Right, so you've got a load of stuff underneath the field, and if you're going to bake the lighting, all of that would be baked as well. My personal opinion, I wouldn't bother baking it because I'm lazy, but if you want to put the work in, I would cut a hole in the ground, join this mesh to it so it's all one, and that way you're not getting a load of space on the light map used just for shadows that you're never going to see. See, there's an underside to this. Is there an underside? No, there isn't. That's actually okay. Yeah, that's okay. But this bit is a problem. If we're going to be baking this, we do really need to cut a hole in this and join the pieces together. So to make it easiest, I'm just going to do what I originally said, not bother baking. And I think we'll just try uploading it as it is and just see what it's like. So this bit here, the first thing I always do when I upload something that I've found online, I make sure that everything is zeroed. We haven't quite got the rotation zeroed, so I'll just do that. Apply, I've just hit Control and A to apply. And then we'll just apply the rotation, and that zeroes that out. And then what I would do is see what the file name is. It's easier if you name your files in Unity the same as the files in Banter, because they're easy to find if you need to adjust the FBX file. So I would just hit F2, Control and C to copy. I've copied the object name, and then in my little Machine Tools plugin that I like to use, because this exports everything for Unity anyway, we'll stick it in here. Defines book world assets. We'll paste in the name, except Unity doesn't like dots, so we'll put an underscore. And then we need to create, we'll just export it as well. That would have been useful. We need to create the material for it. So we'll go into the shader. It's called texture.jpg. So we'll find that and we'll save it as defines book world. Save that. And then we need to create a material for it. And in this case, because I'm not going to be baking anything, what was this material called? I can't remember. Texture base. We'll just give it the same name. I'm going to just use a mobile diffuse for this. Oh, and plug that in. And then in the FBX file we've created, I'll plug that in there as well. So now we can just reuse this if we ever wanted to create another one somewhere elsewhere in the world, but we're not. Oh, goodness. There we go.
Did you separate out the floor?
I haven't, no. I didn't see the point because I'm not going to be baking the lighting.
Oh, I thought it was for the collider issue you had for walking on the ground.
Yeah, I know. I just said to start off, we'll start with the very easy, simple, lazy method and just upload it as a single thing and then just apply a mesh collider. It's not optimal and it will definitely affect performance to some degree. Like I say,
Okay.
you can't use occlusion, culling, you can't do anything on this because this is all one mesh, your entire world.
That's why it wouldn't work. Okay.
Yeah. So there's no point separating it out. I've just uploaded it as one solid thing.
Is your water still there?
The water is a separate mesh which we haven't exported yet. That's that one there, waterfall.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to do the other bits and bobs. This is the, no, shall we do that one now? We'll do this because this one is a little bit different. And normally I would create my own shader for this bit because this is gloss. It's the same as before. It's using the same image. It's just glossy. So it's got the specular turned up and the roughness turned down a little bit, I'm guessing. Yes. So we've already got the file saved. So I'm just going to duplicate this. And mobile shaders don't allow you, they don't have roughness or smoothness and specular and stuff on them. So what I'm going to do, because the standard shader is balked in Banter, for now, I'm just going to use Autodesk Interactive. But when I actually come to install Amplify Shader Editor, I would make my own optimized shader for it. So it's already got the image plugged in, so we just want roughness down a bit, and that'll do. I'll just guess for now. Maybe not quite that far, maybe about that. I don't know. What is it on here? It's got roughness of 0.727. So the easy way to do it, to convert it, well, it's actually roughness anyway. I'm not sure why it's quite that high when it says it's gloss, but there you go. That's what it says. So we just need to do the same thing again. Apply the rotation. Copy the name. Paste it into there. Replace the dot with an underscore. Export and restore. Right, so scene 2, and this time, which one was gloss? That one there. I'll just rename that so we know what's going on. This is not what I call gloss though. You know, I'm going to change this and turn this down a bit to about there. And then bring that in. And we've got, what have we got? Windows. What else have we got? Did we have some shiny rocks? More windows. They should probably be really shiny, you know, I think, if they're windows. So I'm just going to turn that roughness right down. Because we could add a reflection probe into here, which might be a nice effect, and also improves colours. Even if you're not baking lighting, reflection probes do make colours look more realistic. It's quite nice when you get down here, isn't it? So we've done that bit. What else have we got? That was the book title. We'll put the waterfall in now. And that one's the glossy as well. So have a check here. Oh, the waterfall is animated. Goodness gracious, let's play that and see what happens. Absolutely nothing. I can't see anything happening, can you? No, right. So, in that case, we're going to clear animation data. There we go. And we'll apply the rotation again. Copy the name. Paste it into here. Export. Waterfall. And that one's gloss. So we'll stick that in there. Yexture. Look, I've called it Yexture base gloss.
Didn't the water wheel in that model turn?
Did it?
Yeah, I thought it did.
I didn't even see a water wheel.
Oh, it's right there. It's by the building. The other building. Yeah, it's like I just saw it there for 2 seconds. But
you need to move it to where it should be. Should be there, but it's usually
yeah, it's not there. Yeah, where the heck did it go?
By the castle.
by the castle.
Okay, hang on.
So the animation maybe was the
Yeah,
top.
and I just wasn't looking. See, it's still got the animation there. Still don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
look at the water
bizarre.
wheel.
How bizarre. Let's just revert this. Is the water wheel there? No, it's not. So
Nope.
that's how the was actually came in.
Oh, jeez.
That is actually how it opened up
No
in
wonder
Blender.
that model is free.
Yeah, no wonder. So let's just move it. To about there, maybe.
I think it's got it's got a fitting in the building. Yeah, it actually that's about right actually.
Right, let's see what happens. Absolutely nothing. Look at this. We'll play the animation and it pops back to there. So the whole thing is clearly broken. So
Yeah.
I am going to get rid of the animation data.
Oh, it's got some ground in there.
Yeah. There we go. That'll do. It's definitely not going to be animated though. So let's just have a look at that. Have we got a water wheel in here? No, we haven't. So which part does that belong to, I wonder? Let's have a look. It's in the main scene. But we'd already separated this by material. And this has, well, that's not right. Did say it was in the main scene. I bet you any money it was a child, wasn't it? It'll have been, there it is. I wonder why that is. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Clear animation data. We can animate it ourselves afterwards. It's fine. We'll get rid of the child. Oh lordy. This blooming thing.
Sorry, I mentioned it.
Well, I would have found out the hard way anyway, so it's just as well you
Yeah.
did. Okay. I have no idea why the water wheel would have been a child of the book title. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
To make it awkward.
Yeah. See, we've even got a bit here as well.
And why is that way? Yeah, way up in the air like that too. It's weird.
Well, it's clearly supposed to be attached to
Window.
this thing here. Come on. Why is that not moving now? This is really bizarre. There we go.
Is there animation on that one too?
There would have been, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll just center those. Just apply everything. Okay, so we've got the world in. Let's try doing this water wheel. So what I'd like to do is decide. Oh God, this isn't easy because it's already triangulated. We'll just put the pivot point right in the center, I think. Hope that's right in the center. It looks like it. Soon find out. Yeah, that looks like it. So go up here, check that these two are all zeroed out, which they are. Got to set this up again. Would have helped if I'd copied the name first, wouldn't it? Yes, it would, Lisa. Yes, it would. Okay, so there's the water wheel. It needs the extra base because I can't spell material. Pop that in there. Okay, and then you can see the axis that we want it to spin on is the red one, and if you have a look up here you can see it's X. So we're going to rotate it around the X-axis here. And we've got to decide, well, obviously the water is falling this way, so it's going along in this direction. So we need the water wheel to flow in this direction. So I would add an animation, and the easiest way is just to go to Window, Animation, Animation, drag it down here, and with your object selected, just hit the Create button. And we'll call it water wheel. And as long as you've got its pivot point in the right place, that should actually turn properly when we animate it. And the easiest way to do that is just to use the record button. So just decide roughly how long you want it to take to do a full rotation. Water wheels are usually pretty slow. I don't know how long. Maybe we could start off with a figure and you can always adjust it afterwards. So what I'll do is
10 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of trying to start with. We're gonna rotate it on the X. So what I'll do is no, that's moving it on the X, but that's fine. We'll get rid of that. Honestly. Delete key, that'll do. We're going to rotate it on the X, but we want it to be back to 0. That's just so it creates a key there. And then let's say we're going to go to 5 seconds. Should I do 5? You know, I would normally do 4 keys because if you tell it that at 5 seconds it's going to have rotated 180 degrees, it might still go in the wrong direction. So I'll go to 2.5 seconds, 2 minutes 30. And we want it to rotate which direction? Not that way, that way. So it needs to be minus 90. And then it...
Not 180?
No, because we're at 2.5 seconds and I'm going to do it over 10.
Oh.
So we'll do
Okay.
minus 90. At 5 seconds, we'll do 180. Minus 180. And then it's 7.5 seconds. 7:30. Just scroll that again. Is it going to change? Yeah, it's going to be minus 270. You could put in 90 degrees, but it may actually suddenly change direction and go around the wrong way. So we'll go to minus 270. And then at 10 seconds, 10 seconds, we want it back to 0 again, don't we? I think.
No, minus 360. Minus 360.
Do we?
Because it might flip the other way, as you said.
Yeah. We could try it and see. We'll leave it at minus 360 for now. And then
Hit play.
We should have all our keys there. What I would do is select all of them, and if you right click, I'm not sure how to use this actually. We don't want clamped auto, do we? Or auto. probably flat, I think, is what we need. We need the equivalent of linear animation in Blender. Because I don't know if you've ever tried animating in Blender, but what it does is it'll ease in to the movement and ease out, and we don't want the wheel to slow down every time it does a full rotation. We just want it to continue at the same speed. And I think flat might be what we need. We'll try that. It might be free smooth or something, but we'll give it a go. And if we stop recording, bring this all the way back to the beginning and play. It's still, that's not right. It's easing in and out of each keyframe, isn't it?
Everyone. That's what I was afraid of.
It's not what we want. So if anybody knows to stop me fiddling around with it, that would be great. But otherwise, I'm just going to experiment here.
There's a curve setting somewhere, which I never really understood, but see down below it says curves.
Curves. Oh, here. Yeah.
Down there, yeah. And that shows the animation curves and stuff. So I don't know if there's a way of adjusting it there.
Yeah. Ah, here we go. Let's just untick these. Why won't it let me untick them now? Clamped auto it was on. Both tangents. Linear. Shall we try that? Look at that. I think it might be working.
Oh, so what did you do there again?
I just put this back onto clamped auto, what it was originally. It's it's automatically changed it to broken, but all I chose was both tangents and linear.
Okay.
But cool. If you press curves, how does that look underneath that one?
Well, let's save what I've done in case I break stuff and don't know how to fix it. Curves.
Okay.
It's pretty straight, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's literally created a straight line by doing that.
Yeah. If you had it looked at it before, it would have been totally different.
Yeah. I did have it as free, smooth, and flat. And this is why it was slowing down. Yeah. So let's just...
Undo.
I'm just reopening it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no!
Uh-oh, no.
Oh, I told you, that's not right.
That's why I said undo.
There we go. Fixed.
Yeah, for some reason it edits its file directly onto it's a separate file, right? So it's not part of the project, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll save that. And shall we go and do this? Oh.
Windmill.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Well, we haven't exported it yet.
Oh, we didn't bring it in.
It's still in Blender. Yeah. So I'm going to hide everything else. And I think the easiest thing to do would just be to select that edge there. And we'll just put the pivot point right in the middle of that. That looks like the best thing. Now then, this is where we don't want to apply the rotation because this isn't straight with a with the axes in the world. It's on an angle, so we want to maintain that because we're going to use its local axes as opposed to the world axes to rotate it around, if that makes sense. So we'll leave it as it is. Copy its name. Oh, that took a while. That's because it's just tried to export the entire thing. Let's try that again. Scene 2.
So you're exporting it at an angle?
I am, yes. I'm exporting it exactly as it is. And the reason is, when I bring it in, it's already in the right place. But you can see
But to
here.
turn it, it's going to be all wanky, right?
What is?
It's going to not turn correctly, right?
Well, it should do, because I haven't applied the rotation in Blender. So when I've brought it in, its axis is perfectly lined up.
It is perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
It is lined.
So that should work fine. Let's just have a look. Local, yeah, we've got it set to local. Let's give it a quick try. Rotating it on the X. And look at that. It's wonky as anything. Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
It never works the way you want.
And that's probably because it should be absolutely fine. It's probably because everything was a bit wonky in Blender anyway, wasn't it? We had a bit of an issue where there was a little on the X rotation, everything was a bit, it wasn't dead on 0. I'm wondering if that's what's causing it.
Yeah.
Actually, when you have a look at
choose a different pivot point.
Yeah, it's
move
a
your pivot to the other end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your pivot point. Look at the
have it
arrows
at the
go
end.
around. Yeah, do it there. Yes.
It's probably because, yeah, it's still wonky. I reckon it's because of the axes are pointing in the direction of the normals, which isn't what we want. But that looks okay. So what we can do, we could try eyeballing it, you know. Let's just hide that. What we could do is just rotate the pivot point by hand. That's still not right though, is it? No, it's not. Because you see, that is right. It's got blue going along there, but that's fine. It is lined up perfectly, the pivot point.
Where's the origin?
The origin is right on the point here. That's what this little...
Shouldn't it be in the middle of it, or no?
Well, it doesn't matter as long as your pivot point is somewhere central along here. So you know it's going to rotate around that point. I mean, the pivot point could be 10 miles in that direction if you wanted, as long as it's exactly lined up with the center of your object. So that's got me a little bit confused, because that is lined up perfectly.
You can animate it in Blender and see what it does.
How bizarre. Yeah. And we want that to be local so we can see it. And that is right. Okay. Well, let's just rotate it around the Z, as this is here. Oh, that's moving it. Well, that's not right. See, it's wonky there. But we need it to be rotating around its local axis, don't we? So let's use this. And that looks all right to me.
Before.
So let's go back here. I've not done this before. This is all completely new to me. So let's see if we can figure out a way. It's clearly, when I'm using these figures, it's rotating on the global axes and not the way it's supposed to.
Just install Pro Build and just rotate it on its local axis.
Oh, come on, Pony. Bloody you and your bloody Pro Builder. I am gonna do it. I am gonna do a lesson one week where I'm showing how to use Pro Builder. Yeah. And I'm gonna create a cube and say, there you go, that's how you use Pro Builder. Because I don't know what else to
Well, you gotta make
do.
a Taurus at least.
I don't know what
got to
else to
start
do with
somewhere.
it. Right, okay, so we're going to create an animation and we'll just call this windmill veins. That'll do. And we'll add a property. Let's see if this is going to do what we want. It's going to be a transform. I don't know why I opened that up. And it's going to be rotation. And it doesn't seem to give me the option of rotating on the local axes, which really is starting to bother me a little bit. So
You're late.
if I was to rotate, it does nothing, but never mind. Rotate on the X, wonky as anything. So if I rotate this way, global, local, that's not right. And you say that's still not right. I'm in orthographic view there. Am I? Yes. And those axes are still wonky as anything.
Yep.
So it's clearly there's something wrong with the export from Blender, I think. It's just not
Well, you're
doing
going
what I
local
think
to
it's going to
global,
be
right?
doing.
And that's where it's having its issue.
Yeah, but if I have a look at global, obviously that's totally off because this is, it's basically like north, south, east, west with global.
Exactly.
And local, it's just off completely. Does it work when I turn it that way? It kind of does, you know. Kind of.
Yeah, it does.
So this is the X. If I keep an eye on the X, it's starting at minus 28.89. And I want it to end at the same point, basically. So what I'll do the same thing. We'll get rid of these ones. That's crap.
Yeah, take 30 seconds this time.
30, right, okay. Okay, so at 7.5 seconds.
Or 40 seconds if it's easier, of course.
Not really. We'll go to 7.5 seconds. And on the X rotation, we're going to add on. Why is it not adding? Come on, Lisa. Oh, come on. 9 plus 90. No, minus 90. Minus 90 degrees. 15 seconds. We're going to do another 90. Come on. 15 seconds. And minus 90 degrees.
He's still wobbling.
Is it? Damn.
Yeah.
It looks to be wobbling
Yes.
to me, yeah.
Because all three measurements change for the rotation.
They are. They are.
Because it's not.
This
Yeah,
is
it's
really
not fixed.
annoying. Really, really annoying. Okay. And I don't have any other.
I can just imagine they did a solid job.
Just-
But if you made it
Yeah.
its object by itself and flattened it out, right? And It would work.
Yeah, well, there is another way of doing it. I'm just too anal to do it that way. That's the thing. What we can
Just write
do,
a script.
Just
what
flatten
we
it out.
can do is just
Where's the bank
reset
going
the
in?
rotation like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is now all fine.
Yeah.
I'm rotating world.
Yeah. Go back here, export it again. See, that's not even straight. What the hell?
What the hell?
Exactly, exactly. What the hell, indeed. So there
Maybe
we
that's why
go.
it was flying up in the air like that before.
There we go.
Got pissed
That'll
off and-
do. That'll do. So we're now going to
I got it.
rotate it on the Y. We'll try creating the animation first and then rotating it. Do you think that'll work? Shall we give it a try? Why not?
Yeah.
So create. Windmill fins. Okay. We'll just try recording it.
Change your X by 1.
So
Record first frame.
at 0, and we're going to do it on the Y and turn it back to 0. And then at 7.5 seconds, I can't remember how many frames we've got per second, even 1 second. I'll just see what that is. Why is that not recording?
You could just record it over 10 seconds and just make it play slower when you finished it.
Yeah, I just wanted to yeah, I could do. I just
You're doing
wanted
X,
to make
Y,
sure
and
that
Z on
it's...
there. If you look at your recording.
I know, I
It's not
want to
doing just
know
the Y.
why it's not creating new keyframes there.
Keyframes.
Oh, you know why? Because I've got that over here.
Yeah,
Man,
bring that
honestly,
over. Yeah.
honestly, what am I like? So this is going to be 0. And then we've got 60 frames. So at 60 by 7.5 seconds, it's going to have rotated by 90 degrees. Let's just scroll out of here and see if it's doing it. Right, does anybody want to tell me what the hell I am doing wrong? Let's try not recording. 7.5 seconds by 60 frames. I just don't get this. 451 it's got here. Man. Get rid of them.
Just put minus 360 at the last one and see what it does.
Yeah. Lordy. So 7.5. 450. Y rotation 90. So we'll just double that and add another 90. Yeah.
Those working.
Lordy. That's 15 seconds I'm doing here. Was this what we're doing? 20 seconds? 30 seconds? I don't know anymore.
30 seconds.
God. Right. Is it 22.5? My brain's gone blank now. 350, 270. Probably not. This is going to be all wonky, isn't it? Right. Is it turning properly? That's the question, because we can always fix it after. That looks all right to me.
Have you flattened the line linear?
Not yet. Both tangents linear. Okay. So now this is going to be the hard bit. Because we need to try and line this up, and it's even a wonky picture. Let's try and get this bit straight so we know it's roughly going to be right, and then just try rotating it like that. What do you think? I don't know. Right. Shall we give that a go? What do you reckon?
Yes.
What do you reckon? That's good. This is it.
It's good the crazy. Perfect.
Oh man, honestly.
Lisa,
Yeah.
isn't it easier to reset the windmill?
Yeah, animation records the
and
position
they
too. That's the
just
problem
reset
with
the
that.
windmill and reset the rotor itself, so that they're all like on one plane. Because the windmill, that it's like crooked, doesn't really help either.
Yeah, but it's not. That's the thing. It isn't crooked here.
Yeah, but
it's
it's not.
perfectly flat.
Yeah, but what I mean, it's not like, are they both on the same axis? That's what I mean. Are they both like absolutely zero? Isn't it just easier to just like take those two objects and just have not everything around there that just confuses you?
I know what you mean. But the trouble is,
Well, Blender
Unity doesn't work the same way as Blender. Because it's horrible.
And it records position when it's not telling you it's doing that.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, we haven't even got position here under the transforms. The only thing we're changing is the rotation.
But
so,
yeah, you can't move into animation once it's set. It's set.
Yeah, I know. Apparently. Right. There is one other way of doing this, which we can try. Have we got time? No, we haven't, because it's after 8 o'clock. So next week, this is going to be fun. Next week, what we're going to do, we're going to animate it in Blender, export the FBX with the embedded animation, and then extract the animation from Blender and get that working in Unity. And then we'll see if that fixes the windmill veins for us. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll get it working. Don't worry. Animations, as you can tell, are not my strong point. I'm fine if it's flipping a switch on and off or opening a door, but when it comes to stuff like this, it drives me around the bend. But yeah, we'll do that next week.
And call it the wonky windmill.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. Oh man, well, that's been fun if nothing else, even if things went horribly wrong. We'll fix it next week. That's half the fun of doing Unity stuff. Because yeah, you'll soon find out. Anybody who hasn't made a world yet, you will very, very soon find out that most of your time will be spent fixing all the things that have gone wrong rather than actually doing the creative stuff. Hate to break it to you, but that's just the reality of Unity. So, yeah, I shall end the recording. Thank you very, very much, everybody, for coming along. I will upload this
Thank you.
video, well, soon as I'm out of here, I guess. But yeah, thank you. Oh, I should probably tell you, I don't think it's going to be on next week. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. I've got a feeling I'm on late shifts next week, which means I don't finish work until about now. So we're going to have to cancel next week's session, but it's only the 1 week. After that, we'll be back to normal.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna be
Lisa.
off to Lisa.
Thank you.